Hey guys, Chin Cancer here, and I want to do a video over this ARMS SIR rail. This rail is featured on the M4A1 from Modern Warfare 2, and I wanted something that looked different. So I have, I've always rocked Knights Armor Razes, or try to, if I can find them, but I just want something that looks different. So I went ahead and picked this up. If you want a better in-depth and more professional video, go watch Inferior Rifles on his Mark 18 video. He talks about how it's not a Mark 18, the clone, when he has this on there. But this thing, I think, has a little bit of military service, but not a whole lot. These were used by special operations back in the day. But, so yeah, you can say it has seen military service, this rail. But I'm going to talk about the cons and the pros of this rail, really. But I haven't shot it. Go watch Inferior Rifles. He shot his Mark 18 that has his rail on it. So, but I will be eventually taking out the range and shooting this. But so let's get started. So I had a 9 timer Raz on this, and the thing is a lot quicker to remove and install than this. This takes a little bit, and it's not. If it's my first time, it took a little bit because it doesn't come with a manual. So you have to figure it out by yourself. Because I don't know, there's not a lot of videos over this rail. There's like fucking none. How to install it, so you have to really figure it out. It took me like, I would say 25 minutes, maybe less than that, to install this, because trying to figure out certain things, especially this barrel nut down here. I didn't know that was a barrel. I had to be a barrel nut. I don't know what the fuck it was. I was trying to figure out where the fuck it went, because I thought it was a part that went, you had to mount it to keep it secure. But then I realized this is a free-floating fucking rail. I was like, why would it have a barrel nut? If it looked like a barrel nut. So I was like, why the fuck? So I just said fuck it and threw it to the side. But yeah, so comparing the two, the Knights Armor Raz and this, Raz is way faster installing. It's still my preferred rail, but this one does still look pretty sweet to me. But, looks ain't everything. So that's one of the things you're going to be running into is how long it takes to install this thing. Well, I probably can install this thing a little bit quicker because I actually know how to fucking do it now. But when you get it out of the box, you gotta take that thing off. I think it's a barrel nut. It has 4 screws in it. Take that shit off, and then push this up. It's kind of like an M203. It kind of reminds me of. These already come loose. These are how you secure it, and it locks in like a pin inside, and it pops upwards, the pin, to lock it in place. So you pull this up, pull it out like that. You push it up, and it pull it out. So it's pretty cool, actually. And then you have these. These are magnetized, because I almost dropped them. Dropped one of them. So these are magnetized, so that's good. So yeah, you just undo those. Be careful, pretty much. And this comes out. And you just mount it on there. Line it up with these, the fucking little teeny little slots. And you tighten them down. That's all you gotta do. And this thing fits pretty damn well on this. It's just it literally just drops on. It is very nice. It just matches the shape of the AR right here very well. It's like, put it on there, it matches. It's just pretty cool when it did that. And then you get this, push it in, and then slide down with it, and then lock these in, and it will, a pin, if I could show you, is inside. Probably not going to be able to show you. But pretty much when you rotate it, a pin comes up and it doesn't allow it to back out. So it's pretty nice way of mounting. And then they have these little 1913 rail sections that you can move around the gun. But make sure you tighten these down before you mount anything on it. It will be fucking loose. And make sure, tug on it, and make sure it's tight. Because I tightened this side down, it wasn't all the way tightened, and I put this fucking flashlight on there, M951, with the ARMS mount on it. They're the same kind that makes his rail. And this thing's pretty tight. So I had to take this thing off fucking I put it on there, and then I had to fucking immediately move it because it was loose, and then I had to put it back on. So it kind of fucking sucks how tight this thing is. But yeah, once I tighten it again, it's not wobbling or none of that. Make sure, just fucking move it, make sure it's on there, because you're gonna have some loose fucking shit. You know, like a flashlight's gonna be fucking loose. You don't want that shit. But yeah, well, if you want to take this thing off, you have to take the flashlight. You know, if you have a PEC on there, and your optic off to take this off, and you gotta, you know, fucking unscrew those two, pull up, and you gotta undo these. Make sure you don't lose anything, and that's how you take it off. And then it takes. You'll get better at it as you do it, but this rail is probably not coming off anytime fucking soon. I'm probably gonna put that 900 RAS on something else. But another thing is the rear sight. You pretty much have to buy their rear sight, the Arms rear sight, to have one. I had a Matic on here, and there's no room to really mount a rear sight on this, so that's another con to me. But you have a riser. I think they could have left a little bit of space for maybe, but it's whatever. I think it's like $50 for it. I think, or a little bit more. I gotta look it up because I probably gotta pick one up because I want a rear sight on my guns or my ARs. But yeah, I don't know about the weight on this thing. I really have to weigh it. I don't know. This thing does feel around the same as an Army, or a little bit heavier because there's quite a bit of metal up here. But this, I think, is in polymer. I don't know what this is, man. It's probably polymer, hardened, or whatever. But I pretty much gotta weigh it maybe one day. I don't know. But the video on Inferior Rifles, he says when he shot it, the heat mitigation is really good. He didn't really heat up. He didn't feel it, and that's good. Because down here, because it's free float. That's a really good thing. It's free floated. So yeah, you don't have to really worry about that as much. Your handguard heating up. But that's pretty much it, guys. You have any questions on this rail? If you just decided to pick one up, you know, say it in the comments or whatever. If you ever own one of these, how was your experiences and all that shit? Because I have not shot this. I'm gonna eventually take it out to range and shoot it. But that's pretty much it, guys. See ya.